we've kind of heard from the chat, and there's a theme. Austin, what was the worst part about yesterday's loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the Tennessee Titans?
Like, I want to say offensive line, but I feel like I have more responsibility than just go with offensive line. I think it's the fact that it's the worst thing is the Titans' inability to adapt to their awful offensive line. And it's the fact that they continue to put Andre Dillard in situations that he's going to lose in. They're sitting there like on first and goal at the 9 or whatever, and they run that damn Derrick Henry toss play and lose 2 yards. Now it's second and goal at the 11. Incomplete pass, third and goal at the 11. And you put Andre Dillard one-on-one, and the Bucs slide Vita Vea over to the edge. Like, if this tells you like how much the Bucs, a struggling team on a 4-game losing streak, were toying and playing with their food with the Titans, they've moved Vita Vea, who is, how much does Vita Vea weigh? Like 370 pounds? He's a large human being.
Close to 400.
Close to 400. And Vita Vea, close to 400 pounds, speed rushed past Andre Dillard on 3rd and 11 for maybe one of the easiest, fastest sacks in Vita Vea's life. And I'm just looking at this and saying, you got to know better. If it's 3rd and goal from the 11, you know you can't protect that. So why put Andre Dillard one-on-one right there? Like, you got to chip him with Trayvon Wesco or somebody. Put Jalen Duncan out there as the extra offensive lineman, run a 4-man route, and just see if you can make something happen instead of getting sacked for a loss of 9 and kicking a 40-something yard field goal.
You know what that sack reminded me of? That was a big Jeff sack, because once Vita Vea got to Will Levis, he tossed him around like a rag doll, right? He immediately went down because of his strength. He's listed at 347. Dude's not 347. He's probably closer to 377. But yeah, that was a tone setter. But Levis was under duress
the whole time.
The whole time that he's been a starting quarterback. Right? Let's go back to the pressures that I think go unnoticed, or at least went unnoticed the last couple of weeks. This has been consistent. It's just Will Levis has played better and had more success in the first 2 games that he started than yesterday.
Even the first game against the Falcons, when he threw the ball up and down the field and had 4 touchdown passes, he was pressured on 43% of his dropbacks. And then look, Andre Dillard was benched for that game too. So you're looking at
Andre Dillard is a failed experiment.
Oh, and I called him a cat with 9 lives, Zach, last week towards the end of the week, because he's gone through so many of these things, and he just lost his 5th cat life with the concussion protocol he's currently in.
When did his cat life start when he was drafted?
No, his cat. I talked about Titans cat lives. That's how much.
I'm going back to when he was drafted.
No, I'm just specifically talking about the Titans lives, because he was awful in training camp. Then he comes in, he gets benched in London. Then Chris Hubbard gets a concussion, and NPF has to slide over to give him his job back. Then NPF gets a shoulder injury. Now he's back in there too, and now again he gets a concussion. So his 5th life for the Titans is exhausted already, and he is so bad. He is so atrocious. But yet again, the Titans find themselves in a 3rd and pass, and they don't do anything to help him. And so, like, at some point, when you know you have bad players, the coaches just can't be like, well, let's roll the dice, and hopefully the bad player doesn't play as bad as he typically does on this particular play. Like, it's just do something
same thing
different.
With Radens. And some of that I will say is not necessarily Radens. Look, you're a professional. You're paid to do it. You need to, when you get thrown in there in the mix, you need to know what to do. Radens, we know what Dylan Radens is, guys, right? We know what he is. He's not a 2nd round pick.
I'll tell you what Dylan Radens is. Dylan Radens is a warm light bulb on the offensive line.
Yep.
It's on, but it's warm, and you're not going to be able to see that much. But everybody else is off. Like, they are dead light bulbs. Dylan Radens is at least a warm colored light bulb.
But the hard pill to swallow, Austin, is that they had the same problem last year, right? It's the offensive line. So what did they do? They went to go redo the offensive line with at least the money that they had, and they redid it. The redo didn't do.
Yeah. Totally. Chris says, has Brewer been bad? Aaron Brewer hasn't been like bad. I think other people are more noticeable in being bad. Like Rupchich, who had to come in at right guard because Radians had to go to left tackle. He was bad. But Aaron Brewer is on like 3 straight games of having bad snaps that are high into the right of the quarterback, like the one Malik fumbled against the Falcons. He's high into the right a lot on these shotgun snaps. And so, Devin says at least Radins appears to give a damn. I would agree with that. Dylan Radins, like I said, he's a warm light bulb, dull light bulb on this offensive line.
His talent is not a second round pick.
No.
Like that's
but he is somebody that you can use next season. Like I think you can count on Dylan Radins to be a part of your new starting offensive line next season somewhere because they're going to have to go. I mean,
Austin, Dylan Radins should not be starting on the offensive line.
Zach, you only have, and that's kind of the point. That's how bad it is. That's my point. I think Dylan Radins is going to be on the starting offensive line in 2024 because you've got Peter Skoronski and then you have Dylan Radins. You've got to go find 3 pieces. And with
you're gonna draft one in the first round again.
Sure. And there's your left tackle.
And you're gonna go out and spend a boatload of money on another one.